The Middle East is known for its oil, deserts, and extravagant displays of wealth. But even in this region of superlatives, one project stands out for its ambition and potential impact: a $200 billion plus mega railway spanning 1,242.74 miles, 2,000 kilometers, across the desert. This is the Gulf Railway, a project that could change the way people travel, trade, and connect across the Arabian Peninsula. But with such high stakes, the big question is, will it really happen? Can it succeed? Let's take a look. The Gulf Railway, also known as the GCC Railway, is set to change how the Middle East moves. This massive project will connect 6 countries: Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, the UAE, and Oman. The trains will be able to travel at the speed of 125.27 miles per hour, 200 kilometers per hour. So not only is it fast, but highly efficient as well. Can you imagine going from Kuwait to Riyadh in just 2.5 hours? Well, if this all goes according to plan, you won't need to just imagine this. The idea was approved more than a decade ago in 2009, but as the years pass, this massive project has had its fair share of delays. The first one was in 2018, then it got delayed to 2021, and now the deadline is 2030. But it makes sense. This isn't a small task. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty details about this project. The scale of this project is massive both in size and cost. It will connect major cities across the GCC. We'll take a deeper look at how exactly later on. But did you know it isn't just connecting cities, but also connecting ports, cities, and industrial hubs? If that's not the way to link multiple countries, we really don't know what will be. Now let's talk about the cost. It's $250 billion. You heard that right. But we have to keep in mind that this is the 3rd largest infrastructure project in the world, only behind Saudi Arabia's Neom City and Europe's Trans-European Transport Network. But who's paying for all of this? Well, each country is responsible for the part of the railway that runs through their borders. That means Saudi Arabia and the UAE, which have the longest tracks, will be footing most of the bill. Speaking of tracks, the route will be way more interesting than you think. Let's break it down. The journey begins in Kuwait, where the railway will head south, extending into Saudi Arabia for nearly 434.96 miles, 700 kilometers, reaching the city of Dammam. From there, a bridge will connect Dammam to Bahrain, bringing these 2 nations together with around 14.91 miles, 24 kilometers of track. The line will then cross into Qatar, passing through the Salwa border, covering about 173.98 miles, 280 kilometers. Moving further, the railway will enter the United Arab Emirates, connecting Abu Dhabi with Al Ain, with nearly 434.96 miles, 700 kilometers of track running through the country. Finally, the network will reach Oman, with the line extending about 186.41 miles, 300 kilometers, into Muscat. Amazing, isn't it? It's going to be clearly mind-blowing. But how does a project like this even come together? Let's take a look at the key phases of development. The first phase? Planning, of course. The Gulf Railway was first proposed during the 2009 GCC Summit. Over the years, leaders from all 6 nations carried out detailed studies to figure out how to turn this vision into reality. They looked at everything, from technical challenges to the potential economic benefits, setting the groundwork for what could become one of the region's most transformative projects. Next came Phase 2, building the domestic networks. Each country is responsible for constructing its own section of the railway. This means that before they can connect across borders, each nation has to build its part at home. For example, Saudi Arabia is working on a link between Riyadh and Kuwait, while the UAE has made good progress toward the Saudi border. Kuwait, meanwhile, is still in the planning phase, dealing with some technical challenges, but it's moving forward. After that, we move into Phase 3, establishing the cross-border connections. Once the domestic networks are in place, the focus will be on linking them across borders. A major milestone here is the Hafid Rail project, which will connect Abu Dhabi to Sohar in Oman. The final phase? A fully operational Gulf Railway, with the goal to have the entire system running by 2030. But what's really driving this ambitious plan? The Gulf Railway is about to change how trade works between Gulf Cooperation Council countries. By linking major cities and ports, it will make moving goods faster and cheaper. Right now, trade is strong, but with the railway, it's expected to hit over $107 billion annually. No more relying on just trucks, shipping projects will get a whole lot easier. But that's not all. The Gulf Railway is expected to bring a major boost to the region's connectivity and economy. By 2030, it's projected to carry around 6 million passengers annually, and that number could jump to 8 million by 2045. Freight is where the real growth is though, with volumes expected to go from 201 million metric tons in 2030 to 271 million metric tons by 2045. This will make trade between Gulf countries faster, more efficient, and more integrated. Also, through this project come initiatives for the Customs Union and the Common Market, making it easier to do business across borders. The benefits don't stop there. Transportation costs are expected to drop, with freight travel times being cut in half. That means lower costs for businesses and more competitive prices for consumers. And let's not forget the jobs. Thousands of new roles will be created, from engineers to station operators. New urban areas could pop up around railway stations, giving local businesses a boost. Tourism will also get a lift, with faster connections between cities making multi-stop trips more attractive. Plus, the environmental impact can't be ignored. The railway will help reduce carbon emissions by cutting down on road traffic and fuel consumption, aligning with efforts to make the region more sustainable. It's clear, the Gulf Railway is set to reshape the region in more ways than one. But of course, all these benefits come with equally bigger challenges. Building a railway through the desert isn't as easy as it sounds. The Gulf Railway project, spanning over 1,242 miles, 2,000 kilometers, and connecting 6 nations, is dealing with some serious challenges. First, there's the extreme heat. Summers in the Arabian Peninsula often hit 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit, making it tough for both workers and construction materials. Steel can warp and concrete becomes harder to manage, so most of the work happens at night when it's still hot but more manageable at 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Then there's the desert itself. The railway has to cross salt flats, mobile dunes and loose sand. Without careful preparation, the tracks could shift or sink, so engineers are bringing in 15 million cubic meters of fill material to stabilize everything. The soil in this region is another problem. It's weak and prone to erosion. To fix that, engineers are drilling deep into rock layers below the surface to make sure the tracks stay put for the long haul. And of course, there's the issue of water. It's scarce in the desert, but just as essential for mixing concrete and controlling dust. Engineers have had to get creative, using recycled water and transporting it from far away to keep the project moving. On top of that, logistics are a nightmare. The remote locations mean getting materials and equipment to the sites takes careful planning. Any small delay can throw the whole project off. But engineers are staying ahead by using advanced technology like building information modeling, which helps them plan and solve problems before they even happen. Sustainability is key too. They're using eco-friendly materials and saving water where they can. Even the locomotives will have sand filtration systems to keep things running smoothly in the desert's harsh environment. So, yeah, it's having its fair share of challenges, but it's still coming along nicely. So is the Gulf Railway on track or off track? As of October 2024, it's a bit of both. There's progress, but challenges remain. Here's where things stand right now. One of the biggest updates is the upcoming contract for a comprehensive operational plan. How is this important again? Well, you see, this will map out how the railway will work across all 6 Gulf nations. On the ground, construction is moving forward. The UAE has already completed its section leading to the Saudi border, and Saudi Arabia finished the 200-kilometer Ras Al Kahir Dammam line. Work is also underway for the Bahrain-Saudi Causeway link, a major boost for regional connectivity. Collaboration is making a difference too. The joint venture between Etihad Rail and Oman Rail, known as the Hafid Railway Company, is connecting Suha in Oman with Abu Dhabi. Qatar has completed its design phase, and Kuwait is about to start its section, with a consultancy agreement expected this year. Border meeting points have been identified, and 13 technical annexes are already in place, setting the stage for smooth cross-border operations. But not everything's smooth sailing. There are still challenges, particularly with funding and coordination between the 6 nations. Each country has to stay focused to meet the 2030 deadline, but there's strong commitment from GCC leaders. They're determined to see this project through. Once completed, the Gulf Railway will move millions of passengers and tons of freight every year. More than just transportation, it promises to boost trade, create jobs, and strengthen economic ties across the Gulf. Despite the bumps along the way, the project is gaining momentum and the vision is clear. What are your thoughts on this massive project? Do you think it'll meet its 2030 deadline, or will the obstacles slow things down? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more updates and stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.